now. She's coming in with the big guns.
She's like, all right, I have to go out just this once. But, like, you kind of have to though, because I mean, it's Sonic. You're going up against. You can't come around just joking with Sonic, especially on Wi-Fi of all places. You have to bring out like the big guns, you know. And that's exactly what AV's doing here, just setting up the field already, loading it with grenades, just getting explosions wherever she can, and you know, it's probably for the best because it stops Sonic from what he wants to do. It stops him from getting out as quickly as he wanted to as well. And, well, I mean, he's going to have a harder time getting in and dealing the damage that he wants to deal. So
Exactly. And if you notice, BluStriker is actually timing a lot of his approaches in based on the explosions, which is what they're gonna have to do, is time a lot of their approaches after Snake does lay down those bombs. Like, say for example, all those bombs blew up after Snake did all of their options, immediately started to rush Snake in. So it's gonna be a lot of back and forthing here, I'm gonna say.
That's for sure. And then on top of that, BluStriker is faking out some of these spin dashes or light speed dashes just to, like, you know, mix things up and not just do the same thing over and over, so they don't get predictable per se. And so AV has to play around that and know like when BluStriker's coming in. He just has to like know for sure, or just, you know, get a feeling, or at least recognize some sort of pattern. But she managed to get the snipe there with her up smash from that mortar, and that was really, really subtle, I have to say.
That was actually a really good execution there, taking that stock off, and still just AV hanging in there at 170%. But unfortunately, they got stage spiked and was unable to recover back, and that's kind of the downside with Snake's recovery, especially when they're recovering from low and close to stage. You have to be really careful with that.
Right. So true. And things are looking... Actually, I'm not going to comment on that before commentator's curse kicks in.
That's but this match. Honestly,
yeah, I don't
match
want to curse it one bit.
Genuinely incredible right now.
They're both playing their best, is what I will say, instead of how the match is looking. But
the match is looking like they're playing their best right now, and that was an insane forward smash.
Right. Yeah, BluStriker definitely kind of just read the spot dodge, and he just waited until, you know, she was back in frame, and he just was like, let it rip. And then the big fist flew, and now it's a stop.
Exactly. And AV here is really trying to set up that neutral field here, trying to get those bombs out, keeping distance away from Sonic, and forcing them to try to pull out an option to capitalize on. But Striker is not giving in at all. He's actually kind of dancing around the bombs, which I like, because what I love to see and matches is when opponents are so in tune with each other, it kind of looks like a dance in a way, how they respond to each other. So they're kind of in this weird rhythm now against each other. Wow, and he catches the landing from AV with that forward smash. That was actually very nice, because AV really tried to aim from ledge, but I feel like that's what AV was trying to do, but BluStriker probably just caught them right at the perfect moment there.
Right.
Insane gameplay really coming out from both of them, but wow, BluStriker really knows what he's doing with this Sonic.
Yeah, I don't think it was far-fetched of us to say, like, BluStriker would be a wild card tonight, you know? Especially that he's playing Sonic, and he's playing Sonic so well. This is a show he's putting on, really, as Sonic. Really putting the blue blur to the test, if you will.
Yeah, like he did a really great job just covering neutral game as best as he could, and then capitalizing in to punish. And that's what I really appreciate from BluStriker. Instead of just blindingly going in, he was actually very methodical with how he wanted to approach it. But all right, here we go.
We are getting ready for game 2. It looks like they ran the entire game back. Yep, stage, main characters. see what AV does to switch up the gameplay a little bit, try and make things end differently than they did last time.
Yeah. I am kind of glad that they kept the same stage, because had the stages changed, I'm sure it would have been in favor of one more so than the other. I do think PS2 is a stage where they can play evenly, in a sense.
Yeah, I feel the same way too. I agree.
Like, it has the advantage for Snake because Snake can set up a lot of traps, a lot of grenades, C4s, missiles, wherever. And quite frankly, like, you can really overwhelm your opponent like that. Whereas, Sonic can really just dance around the stage and just reset wherever he feels like, especially on one of those platforms on either side of the stage. So, this match definitely is not just one-sided in terms of skill. Well, not one-sided, sorry. It's more even in terms of skill, not even in terms of skill, but at the same time, the stage kind of sets the tone for this dance.
It's almost as if a neutral stage for both characters, you ask me, because like saying has the space to get his stuff out and really set up his ground, and at the same time, Sonic has the space to dance around Snake's ground and just try to get in at opportune moments, just like that with the home attack.
Yeah.
Really a beautiful sight to see right now with this gameplay.
Exactly, and AV looks like they are adapting from Game 1 as well too, because much earlier there was an interaction where AV was off stage there and was recovering from low in a similar situation from last game where they got stage spike and lost that stock, and immediately AV, when they saw BluStriker approach in, they air dodged up to grab the ledge. So they're definitely adapting to this entire match here. So I really do appreciate how AV is trying their best to adapt and trying to compensate from what happened in Game 1 and try to apply that into Game 2 here. Oh, I love that fadeaway actually from BluStriker. They were anticipating an aggressive approach from AV, but AV didn't budge. But if they did, that would have been a pretty devastating kill on their end.
Honestly.
Gonna down throw up tilt? Yep.
Ooh, yeah. I thought she was gonna get the read instead, where they would have rolled back and she just went for the run back into the up tilt, but instead he just kind of accepted his fate, which is kind of sad. But, you know, sometimes you gotta just take those, you know?
Usually if you're fast enough, that down throw up tilt is practically a true combo.
That is true as well.
Exactly.
That is true. So maybe he didn't have time.
Really? On the pressure with these explosives right now, is running away with this around this time last game.
Oh, that was so brilliant there. That was
Honestly.
actually very brilliant. I'm not gonna lie. That was very smart because every time that AV would pull out the recovery, immediately BluStriker will come in to punish, knowing that Snake doesn't really have any offensiveness in the up B except for the actual drone itself. But I love that because AV baited with the up B and then immediately dropped down to land that up tilt and take that stock. Like that was brilliant. That was very brilliant.
That was break brain, as honestly. that was really smart because I feel as if the main area where Sonic has been getting in on AV was above as well, and that kind of goes for not only off stage but at the same time on stage. Because there isn't much Snake can do outside of up smash, where he can cover that option, but at the same time it's not directly above. It's more so in front of him, but it arcs and then it goes a little bit further out. And so that was really smart how AV caught BluStriker there. Sleeping.
That's in the position she needed to be in to connect that up tilt for the early kill on Sonic and the two stock in that second game. So they both managed to two stock each other. After starting off super evenly, we actually have a stage switch here. Coming out from BluStriker, we're on Kalos Pokemon Stadium. How do you guys feel about this map?
I have very mixed feelings about this map. Especially with those side platforms there. I've seen those platforms make or break games so many times just because of their specific placement and how they are. And especially since, to me, the stage feels kind of small. So it's really tricky to try to get those neutral games in, but I love that execution there, coming out of AV, landing that first stock
Oh.
off of BluStriker
Such a
there.
slick move.
Ooh, I've lost my train of thought. I had something to say. I'm sorry. That Spike took it out of me. But
What is your thoughts about the stage?
oh, the stage. Okay, so I know Kalos has the biggest blast zone radius overall. So unless you're Snake here, you're kind of gonna be dying earlier. I feel because Snake is heavier than Sonic. That's not to say that Sonic doesn't have more space to gimp, though, because you
This is
could
probably
just
what BluStriker is like that. This is probably what BluStriker was looking for. Also, it gives him side walls to go for wall jumps, just in case he needs to be a little bit trickier with his recoveries.
That's true. That is true, because Snake doesn't have a wall jump. I mean, why would he? But at the same time, like Sonic can go deeper than usual now in terms of gimmicking, especially if AV is trying to come back from very low with potentially a C4 recovery. So anything is very possible on this map now more than ever, I feel.
Yeah. But BluStriker is really trying their best, sitting here at 99% and actually at a good kill percentage here for AV to secure. But BluStriker, I love how BluStriker though is now trying to add in pressure to prevent AV from landing some setups. But I do love that AV was starting to throw out or is throwing out up smashes to try to stop BluStriker from approaching in as much. So AV's like, look, you can approach me, but I'm not gonna let you come out without a hit. You can take my up smash real quick.
There's an explosion. You just gotta choose which one you want.
Exactly.
Ooh,
And Nikita! Nikita's
Straight
snipe.
up Nikita.
That was a nice Nikita, nicely placed, and I honestly feel as if she knew like she was just BluStriker was just gonna be there, and that was really good placement all around.
That is true. And I mean, I haven't seen AV use Nikita as often, so I'm pretty sure BluStriker wasn't expecting that at all. And that's the thing I was saying against, like this stage, like players are more inclined to land on those outer platforms, and characters like Snake will abuse that for recovery options. So that's exactly what AV did with Nikita there.
I do think Nikita isn't going to be used in this matchup though, more so than other matchups, because Sonic can just get in. But at the same time, Nikita, if you just go for where he's coming from, it could knock him off. But it's not something that
we look for the read. They're just like,
Yeah.
oh, the
And Nikita again with the pressure too. Dude, AV at that last stock interaction there, AV I felt like had super confidence in securing that stock. Not only did AV anticipate two options, whether Sonic was going to roll into them or not to try to get an up tilt kill, but immediately threw Sonic off stage and added in pressure with that Nikita. So that was just a great interaction overall. That was really good.
I think they're just getting in a... No, wait, is this best out of 3? I'm sorry.
I think this is actually finals.
Is it? Holy.
This is winner semifinal.
Oh, okay. That makes sense. So it would be best out of 3. No, best out of 5?
5.
Yes. So
BluStriker is running back Gallows.
All right, which I'm actually surprised.
Very surprised out another stage once again.
Go see how this goes. BluStriker is definitely gonna have to really be careful with their recovery options, because I feel like as far as defensive options, AV was really capitalizing on a lot of BluStriker's defensive options, and I feel like BluStriker is gonna have to be a little bit more creative and mix up their recovery options against AV in this match for sure.
I do have to say, there was one interaction earlier where the grenade actually nearly created an opportunity for BluStriker to get an early stock. I guess like you saw earlier, he kind of didn't capitalize on it per se, or he did, but he just didn't take the route that he would have wanted to in terms of capitalizing. But he still managed to end up taking the stock there. So I guess BluStriker is playing a bit more patient, especially against Snake, considering that Snake is, pushing out so many explosions and so many grenades, and even if you hit him and he's holding a grenade, you're gonna take a hit as well. But
Wow.
ooh, BluStriker's not messing around this match for sure. He's
Oh.
showing why he chose Kalos. He's
Yeah, he's confident, very confident here. He's sitting at 119%, still having 3 stocks. AV is having a difficult time approaching in, and like he said, Striker is taking it slow, taking it back a bit. And I feel like they learned a lot from the last game here, but AV is not going to lose that easily, landing that kill with a back air and taking that stock off of Striker here.
right, and I feel as if it's kind of funny that BluStriker's taking it slow, coming from, you know, the fastest character and the character that most least likely to take it slow. It's really funny to me. But that punch is gonna even things up, and that was a really quick match, though.
That was that was a quick
definitely
match.
what BluStriker specializes in, trying to make his matches as quick as possible. He really adapted to the snake play on his Kalos counter pick, and he said, "Okay, I'm about to show you right now why I counter picked Kalos last game."
Yep,
Exactly.
it's time.
All right, now I'm interested to see what stage they're gonna pick next. Actually, are we gonna run back to
Is he
Kalos? Are we
swap
gonna
to another
go?
stage, or is he gonna walk back to Kalos?
I
Fine.
don't know.
Bro, I don't know if she wants to go back to Kalos. Definitely not.
Yeah, she
be
gotta
honest-
change now. I'm sorry.
To be honest, the smartest option would be Pokemon Stadium.
I
Yeah,
agree with that too. Even though the matches were pretty even, starting to figure out the matchup on Pokemon Stadium there. So Pokemon Stadium is her best choice, but we'll see what they've gone to. We'll see where they're going right now.
all right. So final game. What's your thoughts, or who's your money on rather, for the last game?
This is
I'm
tricky.
not good at bets.
Lion.
Ooh, this is gonna be interesting. My bet's on AV. Lilat is such a tricky stage for Sonic, especially for recoveries, because I'm not sure if he still has this problem, but I believe Sonic with recoveries on Lilat, he can actually miss that ledge, trying to recover. Sorry?
An apple under the stage, but the same thing could happen to Snake.
Yeah,
Although
but I feel like Snake has
One.
more control with his recovery, though.
Yeah. I feel as though more not likely than not, AV is gonna be from the ledge and try to recover high anyway, because recovering low at Snake's just not a good sign, not a good thing.
At the same time, I think AV's gonna do well because the background for Lilac could actually conceal a couple grenades, if depending on how the camera's placed. Because I've heard that problem been done with Snake before on Lilac, and
Ah,
that's where some of the complaints have been coming from with it. Not all, but some. But it
Pretty
is
interesting.
something that could happen, and it's a factor that BluStriker, should take into account.
He's definitely gonna have to keep that in the back of his mind. He's gonna have to pay attention to Snake and make sure he sees when those grenades are going down and what he's doing with them, whether they're just being dropped or whether they're being thrown at him.
Or even being
very
held.
careful. Yeah,
But then
Then
again,
you need to be really careful.
I think he'll know more so where they're being dropped or thrown, but he'll probably be able to differentiate being held more so, because Snake does hold a certain stance when he's holding it and walking. So I think you'll have an easier time when AV is holding the grenade per se, and you just
Exactly.
waiting on technical support. But yeah, I guess we could just talk more about the match in a sense, because I mean,
Well, if we well, I'm actually looking at the Twitch feed, and
oh,
uh,
I had stream paused. I thought I had it keep, still playing, but oh, it's actually looking really nice for AV right now, and I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna be
change
right
that.
back momentarily, YouTube.
But nonetheless, Striker is still playing it patiently, even faking out these speed dashes and all of those stuff. And AV's still setting the stage and still, you know, hiding all these grenades and all this stuff. She'll still trying to get damage in where she can, and you know, if it goes off, then hurrah. But you know, kind of have to rethink what field you're gonna play, or where you're gonna place your items more so.
Exactly, and
Snake.
yeah, exactly. And I love that AV is mainly trying to focus landing those bomb placements on the platforms on Lilac to pressure Striker from not actually camping on those platforms and forcing them to be really quick with their options so AV could appropriately react to their approaches, because AV is actually doing a really good job just kind of controlling how BluStriker approaches them and trying to capitalize on that. And I think this stage actually is such a good pick for AV because I feel that because of how tight the platforms are and how tight this stage is as a whole, AV has that much control over it, and landing that up till there, you know, anticipating Sonic landing on that platform, you know, it's not only that, but it's also conditioning.
Right.
BluStriker, you know, like he's been landing on the platforms, going down on the stage, landing on platforms, going on stage. So, you know, like AV just has to read that one moment, you know, like based on that pattern, to execute a kill, and it's working wonders for them.
That's so true, and I do agree on the conditioning part, where, in a sense, BluStriker did condition himself for that setup into that up tilt earlier, because, like you said, he was camping on those platforms, and that's not something that's gonna fly by AV unnoticed. She's definitely gonna read that and act accordingly once she has the opportunity to do so. And she did so very well, may I add. I do feel like she does need to get some damage on the board before BluStriker does end up making a move, though, because things could turn around badly for AV should BluStriker get the play that he desires, and he kind of just missed it there. But that isn't to say that AV's not at kill percent, you know, and that's a nice parry there as well. Ooh. But yeah, things are getting close to the wire. Even as time winds down, it's really getting close.
Exactly, and AV has to play very carefully here. I've noticed that AV did slow down their movements just a tad bit and trying to be a bit more precise with their bomb placements and approaches as well too. And Striker's really trying to find an opening to land that kill move there. And unfortunately, AV doesn't land that spot dodge timing appropriately, and BluStriker takes the match.